Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of the Divergent series, Insurgent. So, Divergent completely caught me off guard. I had seen so many bad young film adaptations in a row that my expectations for Divergent, well, let's just say they weren't very good. But I actually thought it was a solid movie. It was a good time. And, Insurgent, not quite as good as the original, but not bad. Definitely not on the level of some of these other young film adaptations we've been given. So let's go ahead and look at what the film gets right. I think across the board, the acting was strong. We had a few outliers that I'll discuss a little bit later, but people are really trying and really bringing their A game to a property. And you can feel that they want this property to succeed. I thought Shailene Woodley was giving it her all here. I thought she was much better in Insurgent than she was Divergent. And she was able to bring a lot of emotions. You can tell that she's grown so much as an actress since we first met her way back when on an embarrassing TV show we won't really talk about. But I liked her performance here. I thought she delivered. Theo James was also good. His character doesn't have too many notes though, so you can't say he was great, but he delivered what his character is supposed to be there for. Ansel Elgort has also really developed as an actor since we first saw him. He's really coming into his own in his career, and again, I thought he was good here. Miles Teller was maybe my favorite character. He's always likable, but yet kind of an a-hole, and that's him here yet again, but that's what he plays well. And I know a lot of people might disagree with me on this, but I think the veteran actresses here bring something to the table. A lot of people had a problem with Kate Winslet's performance in the first one. I thought she was good. I think she brings a certain level of depth to her character and just adds to the entire gravitas of the film. And I don't feel like she's phoning it in. I do think she's trying with the character, and I really liked her in this movie. I also like Naomi Watts. She's setting herself up here. She really is having fun with the role, and I thought she did well. Ashley Judd's hardly in it, so I won't really talk about her, but Octavia Spencer's the one I had the most problem with. I think anyone could have played her role, and it's not really her fault. She tries to interject herself and her skill into the film, but there's just nowhere to do it. She has nothing to do in this movie, and it's disheartening to see someone of her caliber giving these small roles over and over again, because that's really what she's been relegated to since her Oscar win. And there's been a lot of talk about that in the media with, Monique coming out and Halle Berry coming out, that especially women of color who win the Oscar are having a lot of trouble following that up with successful careers. And Octavia Spencer is a solid working actress. She's just continually getting these small roles. Insurgent also definitely delivers on the visual aspect of it all. It's an upgrade from the first one. The world is expanded, and we're given more visual feats that I don't think the first one maybe had the budget for. But outside of that, I was left pretty disappointed with the second installment. For one, if you're not a fan of the book, I think you're going to find this all a little bit jumbled and somewhat confusing. I didn't understand a lot of the plots of the story, and I have seen the first one, so it should have seamlessly woven itself into this storyline, and I don't think they did a good job of that. There were things that kind of just popped up that weren't relevant, or not seemingly relevant. Maybe they'll make themselves known in the third movie, I'm not sure. And it all just felt stretched for no reason. This whole movie feels like it should have never happened. We're given some character development, especially with Triss, our main character. She's developed more, and so is her brother to a certain extent. Some of the minor characters are. Four kind of suffers as he's given the least character development. But what happens in this movie? Like, I know stuff happens, but they're minor plot points, it feels like. This movie reminded me of a couple other young adult adaptations. One, it reminded me of Mockingjay Part 1 in the fact that it was just a middle movie. It literally served the purpose to go from the movie before it into the movie after it, and it didn't really stand alone. It didn't really serve a purpose by itself. The problem is, Mockingjay Part 1 felt much more sophisticated, it felt much more grand, it kept your attention more. Overall, it was a very much superior film. This movie also really reminded me of The Maze Runner. And again, I haven't read either The Maze Runner or any of the Divergent series, but suddenly they have a very, very, very similar plot. And I think Insurgent feels redundant if you've seen The Maze Runner, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm not going to go into spoilers, so if you have seen The Maze Runner, just know that the overall premise is almost identical. It doesn't really pay off on any aspects that it promises. We don't really get to know more about the story, and we're not unfolding layers into some big mystery. We peel back a couple, but we don't dig in. We're not given big, high-stakes action. There are small action set pieces to keep us entertained as we moved along, but a lot of it's simulated and fake. So the stakes just simply aren't there when they try to artificially manufacture them. And overall, we're just kind of given a movie that's filler. A movie that just fills in some of the plot points between point A and point B. So I am still left excited for the final installment in the series because we've opened new doors, but it feels more and more like Divergent could have just added 30 minutes and covered Insurgent as well. So overall, if you liked Divergent, I say you still have to see Insurgent. It's not a bad movie. You'll enjoy yourself. There are some laughably bad writing moments in it, but you'll have a good time overall. You won't be mad that you went to see Insurgent. If you weren't a fan of the first one, this one you can definitely skip. So my overall viewing grading is a matinee. So, that has been my review of the Divergent series, Insurgent. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the conversation. Have you seen Insurgent? What did you think? Have you read the books, and are you a fan of this adaptation? Let me know in the comment section down below or hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!